Been asked a few questions in some of my recent videos about how to do a few things in the AH-6 Little Bird, and today I wanted to clear those up, so let's take a look. For the MH6, people asked how to get the Delta Boys up on the sides of the chopper. When you load the MH6 in, you have gunner right left, rear, and gunner front left and front right, and rear left and rear right. Make sure that the pods and door gunners are installed. You can actually remove them. You don't have to have 4, but that's how you add them. When you put one in, you get the one on the other side to balance it out. A couple of other nifty little loadout tricks. You can add a camera rig like that. Floaters can actually land in the water. It's pretty cool. And a searchlight if you wish. Those are actually functional. If you need more gas, you can put the Goliath fuel tank in, and of course you can add doors to the front or rear if you just want to be a classic flying egg. Notice that when you put the doors on the rear, you lose your boards. There you go. Another question I've been getting a bit is how to adjust the grease mark, which is right there in the middle of the screen. So we will go to adjust controls, and right there you want to find gunsight up and gunsight down. Find that to something on your HOTAS or an easy to reach button on your controller, mouse, keyboard, whatever. That is how you can adjust it. So you can see up and down. There's a minimum and a maximum. There you go. All right, the next question I wanted to clear up was getting the guns to fire. So you'll go here and select arm, put your master arm and safe switch. You power this instrument panel on, and that's for your rockets and outboard stuff. And then down here, enter the armament. Make sure you power on and arm both sides of the guns. From there, you want to make sure your keys are binded properly. And that is a separate bind than the weapon fire. So you can see gunfire, I have bound to joystick button 4 on my controls, and rocket fire is button 20. So distinct, different controls. Okay, hopping back into the MH6, I got a question on how to make these dudes get lost. Pretty simple. Getting back into your keybinds. It's going to be right there under deploy gunner. So just bind that's something convenient that you can reach easily, and they'll be able to deploy. Also note that you can do a door gunner rules of engagement right there. I have it bound to my button 24 on my stick, so I can have them change their targets and disembark with opposite key presses on this castle hat that I have on my Orion joystick. And when you push that button, they disappear. You get a notification, it says drop, and you're good to go. In order to get them back on, I would have to go to rearm and refuel and pop them back on.
Request rearming. Copy.
And there you go. Friends are back on board. Okay, the last thing I wanted to cover was how I got my guys to spawn on the map after I landed and hit the drop button on my controller. So pretty simple. Once you understand what you're trying to ask the editor to do, it's not that bad. We'll go to set rules for triggers. You can see here, I have a couple of triggers. And what's going to help is if I can show you my trigger zones. So I have one trigger zone here named ALZ Smoke, and that is for when the MH6 passes this trigger, it will do a couple of things. It will activate smoke in the LZ Smoke zone here, and you can see I have this radius set to 50 meters, or 50 feet. It's quite small, and that's because I want to land here. I want to create the sense that once I land in this area, it seems viable that the Delta guys would get off of the platform on my chopper. I picked 4 infantry, and I gave them a late activation. When you name them, give them something that's easy to find. I used Delta Platoon. We'll go back to the triggers. And to set it up, it was quite simple. Unit inside zone, rotary 1-2, which is the MH6 in my mission. Use easier names than this, because this can be quite confusing if you don't realize who is who. But that's how I do it. Unit inside zone, middle Iraq house, 3rd floor, which is this big square here. Again, you can name it whatever you want. We'll go haha. And so once this MH6 is inside this zone, what we're telling it is when this MH6 is inside the zone haha, and the unit's above ground level altitude is lower than 1, or activate flag 1 and activate Delta Platoon, and that'll make these guys spawn. I'm trying to remember what I did flag 1 for, but that's a separate thing. You actually don't need that. It would just be group activate Delta Platoon, and then they go off, and then you can just take off and go on your mission. But yeah, it's literally as simple as, hey, I'm inside this zone, right here. I'm lower than 1 foot. And you can even set a time, like, hey, it's been more than certain hours in the game, or you can set up time since flag. So flag 1, I can put 10 seconds. So I want to simulate, like, hey, I have to be on the ground for 5 seconds after flag 1 activates. Then Delta will spawn, and that would use a separate event for that. But it's really just as simple as, hey, I'm inside this zone, I landed over here, and I'm below a certain altitude, activate this group. That's simple. Hope that was helpful for everyone. Please let me know if there's any other comments or questions you have regarding the Little Bird or Mission Editor. I will do my best to help and answer timely. As always, thank you all for popping in and watching the video. Please consider leaving a like and a subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. This has been Raptorizing. Raptor out.